Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation. Thank you for coming today to learn about the use of a new technology called cloud computing. My name is Nick Broadley, and I am the Chief Information Officer of National Insurance. As we have a mix of delegates in attendance today, I'll just run through the program. Today's agenda. The formal part of this presentation should run for about 10 minutes, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions or respond to any queries you may have. Firstly, an overview. What is cloud computing? Then I'll address some questions including, how will it affect the company? How will it affect me? What do we have to do? How much will it cost? Followed by how much will it save? I'll then present a case study with the data analysis and a sensitivity analysis, followed by the conclusions of this process. Why are we here, you ask? We're here today to discuss a new technology that has become available to the business world, the world that we operate in. The business world is constantly changing, and to remain competitive, we have to explore new ways of operating as they become available. This presentation is designed to give an overview of the considerations and changes required to implement and maintain this new technology. By the end of this session, I hope that everyone is a bit more informed about this upcoming technology and is comfortable in supporting this move into the future. Now, if you allow me, let me tell you a bit more about cloud computing. The phrase cloud computing refers to the migration of data storage and application services that have traditionally resided on localized hardware such as computers or servers to the internet. Utilizing such products as Google Apps, Amazon Cloud Drive and Microsoft SharePoint, amongst others, it is possible to access files from a limitless number of external locations. As we approach the year 2015, the provision of smartphones, tablets, laptops, and related mobile devices is prevalent in our business, ensuring we can meet our customers' expectations from anywhere. With this increasing level of wireless hardware, we need to look at the next bottleneck: file storage and access. It has become more of a requirement among consumers and indeed our staff members to ensure we protect our competitive edge. With the increase in computing power these mobile devices offer, the question has been asked, how can we work with our employees to increase productivity? The use of cloud computing in a business function can have both advantages and disadvantages to the company and the employee. There are many benefits to using these systems, but there are some issues to consider with its incorporation into the business world, as well as some costs. I'm sure everyone is asking themselves, what does all this mean to the company? A good question. There are many pros to the use of cloud computing, including the decline cost of hardware. While there are still hardware costs, no longer having to purchase and maintain the huge amounts of servers and virtual storage space we currently do means savings. Improved user access. People will be able to access files that would have previously been inaccessible from anywhere but the office. Not only will they have access, they will be ensuring they have the latest file with the potential for multiple people to be working on the same document simultaneously. Flexible work hours. The freedom of access to previously inaccessible files allows you to work anywhere at any time. Quicker response times. No longer will it be necessary to wait to get back to the office to access answers, to respond to inquiries and distribute information. Improve morale. By using a cloud system, we will ensure our employees will have access to the information they need immediately, hopefully decreasing stress and improving morale. Declined use of paper. If you can access files anywhere, there should be less of a need for paper copies. Reduce travel to meetings. Using a variety of cloud computing applications, including virtual meetings, we'll be able to save time on meetings and travel related to them. However, it is not all good news. There are cons that, like any technology, require management to ensure that the technology is not a weakness. There is an increased security threat as we have less control over the storage and access systems and its operation. A risk of widespread application outages. Should the application suffer downtime, without a backup, our business would be unable to access any of our own data. Increased network dependence. Accessing files remotely in remote and rural, or sometimes even urban areas, may not be possible if we are unable to access the network. End-user privacy concerns. Storing a document or application in the cloud may raise issues of privacy for end user. We would not want just everyone to access these sensitive documents. Hidden costs. While there is a reduced cost associated with not requiring direct hardware, it is important to assess the overall package to ensure hidden costs are not being incorporated into our systems. Inflexibility. We need to be careful that what we sign up for today caters for our future usage needs and requirements. Lack of support. Most companies offering the cloud service do not have an easily accessible, dedicated support team to assist with the use of their products, leaving this to the individual, or in this case, our IT department. But how will it affect me, you ask? A good question. There are several benefits to the user, including you can access and amend files anywhere. If you access the file or application from anywhere, you can do whatever you need to, wherever you need to. Flexible work hours and locations. The versatility of these systems provides flexible work conditions without compromising workflow. Less downtime. Reduced time taken up traveling to meetings or waiting to access required files relates to an increase in productivity and job satisfaction. As with any technology, there is a trade-off for these conveniences. You may have to install extra software on a device. This software may not belong to you, but will take up space on your device. Possible security issues. With the data being kept on a third-party system instead of the company hardware, there may be issues with security and privacy. Not all devices are supported. Depending upon the capabilities of the successful cloud system, the project may only support some operating systems. Over the anticipated 6-year life cycle, it can be shown that the costs associated with this project will be fairly consistent, differing little year to year. Costs include policy development, the strategies and policies that will set forth by the company to ensure the use of this technology is not misused. Cloud acquisition, evaluating and purchasing a cloud system. Cloud support team, the training associated with upskilling our IT officers to be able to support this project. Incremental maintenance, like any asset, the maintenance of such a system is important to ensure the project meets the expected results. Training, the costs associated with training the end user to get the best results. Finally, the security upgrade that is required to ensure our current system are appropriately safeguarded. With an initial outlay of $25 million and averaging $9 million annually, the costs are within the scope of our corporation. This information is useless, however, without similar data on the expected savings. There are several areas that savings will be recognized in using cloud computing. These include the reduced costs of capital. The costs associated with capital outlays to purchase hardware will decrease. Improved productivity. Being able to access files and applications anywhere allows quicker responses to pressing matters, amongst other things. Reduced insurance. Less costs associated with the insurance of the hardware assets we currently incur. Reduced travel. Reducing travel times to meetings and the costs associated will be a huge benefit, ensuring that time is used more efficiently. As we can see, the longer this technology is implemented for, the greater the savings. If a discount rate of 10% is assumed, that is the rate that we can borrow money for to fund this project, we can then work out the net present value of the project. Once a net present value analysis of the benefits and costs of the project is calculated, it can be shown that over the 6-year life cycle of the project, the resulting profit is just over $3 million. The data suggests an internal rate of return of 13% and profitability index of 1.13, reaching the conclusion of the payback period in the project's 6th year. Beyond the 6-year life cycle, there will be ongoing maintenance tasks and associated costs. However, given the initial data, it is expected that the productivity increases associated with the project will keep it rising, making this both a viable and profitable project. How accurate is this data, and what happens if there are extra costs or savings? To answer this, I will run through 3 scenarios. Firstly, an increase to the initial cost of training, $2 million per year over the first 4 years. This sees a payback period of 7 years, an internal rate of return of 7%, a drop of 6% from the base case, and a final profitability index of 0.88. While not as attractive as the initial scenario, this is due to the project extending beyond the time frame analysed. Secondly, an increased discount rate to 11%. With an internal rate of return of 13% and a profitability index of 1.08, this is still a profitable project, however not as attractive as the initial scenario. Third and final, improved productivity rates in the last 3 years. This scenario indicates an internal rate of return of 14% and a profitability index of 1.19, the best scenario of all. Today we have addressed a lot of material in regards to costs associated with the implementation and maintenance of a cloud computing project, as well as the benefits and downfalls of such a technology. In conclusion, with respect to the data analysis, the current predictions show a positive result with a 6-year payback period, 13% internal rate of return, $3.16 million net present value, and a profitability index of 1.13. By all financial means, this is a solid project. There are many factors that have to be considered, many of which may be intimidating. The issues outlined today are manageable though. The company's risk profile and the project risk assessment are vital to the decision to proceed with the project, but the size and innovative style of national insurance definitely supports the adoption of cloud computing. Given the current information and climate, this company should proceed with the decision to implement a cloud computing program. I would like to thank everyone for their time today and hope to see this technology implemented in the near future. There are many elements that need to be considered in respect to cloud computing, but not all of which can be directly derived as a cost. Major factors that need to be considered include improved user satisfaction, flexible work hours, quicker response times, increased security threat, legal implications, and an involved backup system. Interestingly, it is the research that hasn't been represented that is of the highest value. Currently, there is little in the way of research into the increased levels of stress due to the 24/7 work environment that could be derived from a cloud environment. The expectation that the employee will be available no matter what, where, or what they are doing. The support network to sustain cloud computing would be much greater and versatile than first thought. It would require the implementation of policies and the change-out of hardware to ensure sustainable company use. The changeover period would be lengthy. Older generations may resist it.